Hello YouTube, it is Champion DJK coming at you again with another video, and today we've got the latest from the Majorette collection. This has been just a fantastic series. We've got 2 waves of it that have come out so far. This is the 3rd wave. From what I understand, these are doing very well in stores. They are selling, and they totally underestimated what they were going to sell. They're sold out a lot of places. You can't really find a lot in Targets anymore. They were found at Targets. They were found at Walmart, and they're just selling out. They're selling. They're selling these. That's great. It's fantastic. Why are they selling these? Because it's a good product for a good price. No, this is not sponsored by Majorette, but I am a fan of this series. And today I'm excited to bring you Wave 3. So, the way it's been going, the first set of 6 cars was 6 all-original castings. The second set was 3 recolors and 3 new castings. And again, for this 3rd set, it's 3 recolors and 3 brand new castings. So, I am stoked to show you this set. Very cool. I did not find these in stores. Full disclosure, I ordered them. I paid for them. I ordered them from Super Mini Wheels. Not sponsored again, but they are a hobby dealer I do use occasionally, so shout out to them. They had these available, and as soon as I saw that they had these available, I pounced and I ordered, and they came. So we're going to go ahead and take a peek. So we're going to start. Well, logically, we're going to start actually with the 3 castings that have already enjoyed a release. As you will notice too, in the sets of Majorette, you get a 1955, 65, 75, 85, 95, and a 2005 car. So that's kind of cool. The sets have a car from each decade, which is pretty awesome as well. So we're going to start with, of course, the 1955. This is the 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air. If you're not familiar with this set of Majorette, they're nice. And I'm going to show you how nice they are in a minute, but let's start with the packaging. So the packaging is a standard kind of carded car with an acrylic case, which is a really nice quality acrylic case. We'll get into that in a second. At Target, these were like $6.99, $7 for these. Really good quality for $7. So, and I went over that a lot in the first 2 sets, so we don't need to rehash that necessarily. But I want to tell you that these are very good value for the money. So, we got card art, blister, acrylic case. The cars are screwed down inside to this little base inside of the acrylic case. These acrylic cases are stackable, which is also awesome. You might see this too in the US, so it'll say imported by Jada Toys. So Jada is actually who is importing these, but they are a Majorette brand, and they're available worldwide. But yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the 1955 Chevy Bel Air. I'm still not a pro at opening these, funny enough, but we'll go ahead and open this stuff and take a look. Little legal gobbledygook there, in case you want to read that, which of course we're not going to. And here it is. Here's your Chevy Bel Air. So the first one of these we got in blue. This one we get in red. Looking fantastic in red, by the way. So the acrylic case, it's actually pretty nice and pretty high quality. Now at Walmart you can get M2 machines, right? They come in an acrylic case. I would argue, and I don't think too many people can argue against me, this is a much more high quality display than your M2. It just is, okay? And not a knock against M2, it just is. And then these are screwed down. They're screwed down with 1 screw, which is also great. I don't like the 2 screw format. I like the 1 screw. So we're going to go ahead and take out that 1 screw. So 1 screw, and then they got 2 little pegs that kind of stick into the bottom of the casting that hold it right to the base. So that is great. We'll take it off the base. We'll take a look at this Chevy Bel Air. So, features of these cars. They have metal bases, metal bodies. They've got mostly inserted details, right, for headlights, which is fantastic. And some of them will also have inserted details for taillights. This particular model is painted. We do see a little flaw right there. Just taking a look at that. And, yeah, you get a detailed picture of my probably dirty thumbnail, which I apologize about that, but it is what it is. And they also have suspension, which is such a cool feature. I love it. I've talked about it quite a bit lately. I just enjoy the fact that these things have suspension. Really, really cool. Paint quality seems pretty nice. We've got a little orange peel, and I'm always pretty critical, so you guys know that from watching my channel. There is some orange peel. This isn't exactly very smooth and glossy. It's glossy, but it's not like smoothly clear coated. And that may be just my example. These do have side mirrors that are an additional piece. And again, we've already seen this one in blue. We got a little flat spot in the tire too, but that's just from it sitting on the base, so no problems there. They do roll. However, they're not going to roll like a Hot Wheels, right? Because it's rubber tires, and they're not even going to roll like a Hot Wheels Premium. There's a little bit more going on with these. So, really, really nice. Nice detailed 1/64 scale replicas. And I should say also that they are 1/64 scale. 1/64 scale. They're not monkeying around with just trying to make something that's 1/64 scale-ish. They're actually supposed to be 1/64 scale. And I like that. I like that quite a bit. Obviously, Autoworld's like my favorite brand, right? They're true 1/64. And as soon as I got into Autoworld, I was like, I love cars that are actually to scale. So this fits the bill. Very, very cool. So nicely done, nicely detailed. This is a casting you guys have all seen probably before if you're familiar with the brand, but we get it in red. Does it look as good as the blue one? You'll have to tell me. I didn't bring it out for a comparison, but I actually might prefer it in red. It looks really nice. All right, so let's take that. Let's set that aside. And let's move on to the next one. The next one is a 1965 Shelby GT350 in black and gold. Looking quite nice as well. The original release of this came out in white, I believe. I don't believe, I know. Came out in white. And again, we got the acrylic case. We got the same sort of format. You can open it up. And like I said, these are easily stackable, securely stackable, which is really cool. Oh, there's a screw from our Bel Air. We don't want to lose that because I'm going to put these back in the packaging. Very cool. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's take the screw out quite simply. Unscrew that. We'll put that little guy back, and then we'll put the acrylic case back. We'll set it back over there. And here is our Shelby GT350. Same format as before. Metal body, metal base. I would say so far out of all the castings, this might be the weakest one. Just my opinion. But you guys can disagree if you want to. It's still really, really nice. I mean, it's got, you know, again, it rolls. It's got the suspension. It's got the metal body, metal base, rubber tires, all that good stuff. It's 1/64 scale. No opening parts on these models, and I'm actually a big fan of that because we don't have to deal with panel gaps or any other goofy stuff that we have to worry about fitting. On the back, you can see that it is an inserted detail for the taillights, and then it's painted over in silver. Now, these aren't the most detailed premium models you'll ever see, right? But they might be for the price point, okay? For $699, you're not going to get necessarily mini GT quality. You're not going to get Inno64 quality or Tarmac Works. You know, you're not going to get like the premium Tomica Limited Vintage, stuff like that. You're not going to get that kind of detail for $699. But what you will get is definitely more detail than like a Hot Wheels Premium, you know, or anything like that, that also comes in kind of at that price point. Now, they're not as hyped and maybe not as collectible, let's just say, as a Hot Wheels Premium, just because Hot Wheels is Hot Wheels. But value for money, these things are fantastic. And this one in black and gold looks great. I would argue this one looks better than the first released in the white with the blue trim. So just really, really good. It's an impressive model, and I definitely dig it. So let's check out the next one. So what actually might be the star of the show is a recolor. It is the Porsche 930 Turbo in this like metallic green, or almost like a mirrored finish metallic green. 1975 Porsche 930 Turbo. Let's open it up. You got the Porsche hologram right there. These are all, of course, licensed. It's Majorette. Majorette has always licensed their models. Well, at least current Majorette. I don't know about vintage Majorette, because back in vintage time, it wasn't necessarily much of an issue. There you can see right there, 1/64 scale metal chassis, rubber tires, showcase, which is that guy. So let's open up the Porsche 930 Turbski. I mean, that is a really good looking mirror finish paint. It's like, you know, this isn't an RLC car, and it's not quite that type of mirror finish. I mean, it's close, but not quite. But for $699, when you could pay, if this car came out as a Hot Wheels RLC, granted it would be more hyped and arguably have more resale value, all that good stuff. This is $6.99, right? I mean, super mini wheels, if you get them from Hobby Dealer, they're a little bit more. And as you can see, it's not, again, the paint is very good quality. It's just not perfection. But at $6.99, I mean, what can you really expect with that? It's mirrored enough. It's just a little bit of orange peel, and we can deal with that at that price point for sure. And this is a really, really beautiful looking model. I actually really, really like this one. I was kind of thrown aback by it because of that mirrored finish. I was like, what are they doing with this? I mean, it's not really like a stock finish. I don't know. Did they produce a Porsche 930 in a mirror finish from factory? I don't think so. Definitely did it in a green though, like this. And I for some reason love a 911 in green. I love a 911 in green. I think it's a great color for a Porsche. So you guys can fight that out. But I think it's one of the best colors for a Porsche. Again, we got the inserted details for headlights. And again, like, it's not the most detailed model in comparison to maybe like some other brands that are much more expensive. But it is so good though. It's so good. We've got metal base, again, metal body. We got the suspension. It rolls. It's got rubber tires, and it's really good looking. So what really more can you ask for? That's why I'm so excited for this Majorette line. It's just fantastic. And if you think about it, in a very short period of time, now I don't know that they're going to continue this pace, but in a very short period of time, you had the first set of 6 cars, 6 brand new toolings. Second set, you had 3, so that's 9. Third set, you had 3 more. That's 12. 12 toolings within a very short period of time that they've been able to release and bring to market. And I don't know how much prep was behind it, so obviously it might have taken them a long time. But if they can keep up this pace, I don't know. I think they're going to sell well. The only thing I'm afraid of is if they're going to take the success of this line from its novelty, from being brand new, and think that they're going to sell tons and tons and tons and tons and tons, and then overstock the stores with a certain wave, and then they won't sell as well. So I hope they don't do that. It's a little bit of a game with how, you know, supply and demand, how much you want to put out in stores and make these things desirable. But right now, they've got my attention, and I have every model so far. And I plan on getting every model, you know, unless it gets totally crazy and ridiculous. But if they do like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 releases a year, they're going to all be in my collection, 100%. And this is a really, really good looking model, so hard to argue. I mean, even if I don't buy all of them at a certain time, I'll get all of this one. You know, I'll get all the versions of that casting they ever put out, because it's a good one. All right, now we get into the new toolings. 1985 Toyota Hilux SR5 pickup. It's like the Back to the Future pickup, right? It is Back to the Future. It's funny how we didn't have this truck at all, and then we got it in like 3 different brands within the last 2 years. So that's kind of funny, but nice that they decided to do it. And let's check it out. It's the first truck casting from Majorette. We got it in black, of course. Eventually we'll probably see a recolor. Sort of same format here. You got the acrylic case. You got all that good stuff. Feels good. Secure on the base. All of that jazz. It's got the side mirrors. You got to be a little bit careful of those mirrors. Let's unscrew it. Nice long screw on that one. Put the acrylic case back together. Set her back there. And let's take a look at this truck. Nice glossy black on the truck. Not much orange peel in this one. Looks really, really good. And again, that metal base, these got weight to them. They're 1/64 scale. We've got kind of an inserted detail for the headlight. Again, not the most detailed I've ever seen, but dang, is it a good job for the price. And then you've got the painted details for the tail, and that's fine. No fold-down tailgate, and I'm totally fine with that. No opening hood, of course, none of that. We don't need it. We don't need it in this scale. We really don't. Is it nice to have sometimes? Yes. This one does not have the signature suspension. That is kind of unfortunate, but I do get that it would be a little bit more of a challenge to do it with this particular model because it's kind of lifted. But it would be really cool if we had a lot of suspension travel there, which we don't have, and that is fine. I wish it had it. It doesn't, and that's okay. It does roll, however. It does have rubber tires. Does it roll fantastically well again like a Hot Wheels? No. Do we need that? No, we don't need that. But very, very, very nice. Very nice for the price. And even beyond the price. I mean, it really does punch above its weight. 100%. And this looks, it looks really good. Can you argue that? I don't think so. Is it as cool as the Porsche? Maybe not. But is it cool? Yeah, 100%. Yes, it is very cool. So, yeah, stellar models, stellar first 4. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at the last 2. And again, 2 brand new toolings. The next one we got is the 1995 Toyota Supra. I mean, this thing's going to sell, obviously. It's a Toyota Supra. And everybody's a fan of the Toyota Supra, right? Who doesn't like a Toyota Supra? Is anybody like mad at a Supra? Does anybody not? It's like hating dolphins, right? You're not going to hate it. You like the Toyota Supra. This is a 1995 one, and it's in white. Let's go ahead and open that up. And of course, we'll probably get some recolors of it at some point soon. I will say, too, that these 3 cars are recolors of the first wave. And the cars that were in the second set, of course, were also recolors of the first wave. So the full first wave of 6 cars has had 2 releases of each casting so far. So nothing from the second set yet has been recolored, and of course nothing from this one yet. So we'll probably see that now in the 4th wave is what I'm guessing. All right, so 1995 Toyota Supra. Let's go ahead and get it off the base. 1 little screw, easy peasy. Take that screw off, set that over there, plop the little thing on, and let's check out the Supra. It's got the suspension. All right. We got a wing on this Supra. Looks pretty good. This one gets inserted details for the taillights. Looks good. Inserted details for the headlights. Looks good as well. Very nicely detailed. The other thing I've noticed too is these all pretty much, I think, have black interiors. So there's not like details in the seats and details in the dashboard and all that stuff. Like there's molded details. They put a lot of detail into the interior, but it's not like painted detail. And we don't need that again. It's not super necessary. They're doing like what is exactly necessary to make a really good like replica product at a price point people are just going to buy. And you can't argue with that, I don't think. This one rolls really good. Might be the best rolling one. Again, that metal base. I'm just really impressed with what they're doing here. And how quickly these toolings have come out. Like I said, if they can keep up this pace, keep the freshness of it, I think they're going to do quite well. So cool. So good. We're so spoiled now with good diecast. And this just really tells you that we are, because to be able to pick this up at a Target or a Walmart or something like that is just a really good thing. So that looks, I mean, good. I don't think I would, you know, I don't know how many Supras I have in my collection, but I'd put this up right up with some of the best of them. Maybe the best, we got Auto World does a good one. We have, does a really good stock one. And then we've got Mini GT does pretty good ones. So this is just added to that. If you're a Super fan, you're definitely picking this up, whether you like Majorette or not. And again, it's really nice. It's really, really nice. All right. Lastly, we got a Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Super Sport 2005 flavor. This one in kind of a Halloween decor. We've got orange black. Let's get it open. This is another, of course, brand new casting. I guess the easiest way is just to peel that side bit off. And then this front little clamshell comes right out. You got your little legal stuff there. Case. And then, of course, screw. Get that off of the base. Done with our screwdriver. Ooh, screws escaping me there. Set that there. And let's check out the Bugatti. All right, this one's pretty cool. I don't know. Out of all these, not my favorite. That rear wheel is dragging a little bit. Now it's moving. It was a little draggy at first, and still kind of is. This thing does have the suspension. You can tell with these little holes in there that it's got suspension. Proportionately, I think it looks really good. The Veyron is kind of a weird car to get, like, correct, and even when it is correct, it looks weird because it's just a very bulbous car. I've never really been a huge fan of how the Veyron looked. Never a big fan of it. That rear wheel is dragging a little bit. We should maybe take this one apart, because I haven't taken one of these apart yet. I want to see what's going on inside. So maybe we'll take a look at that. But real first, our first step, inserted details again for the headlights. We got painted details in the back. So a little compromise there. It's got the wing up. Of course, the real car has, you know, a active wing. So it either goes up or down based on what the car is doing. And then again, we got the two screws that hold the casting together. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and let's crack this open. So we got a screw up front. Ooh, comes out really easily. So if anybody's a customizer and wants to mess around with these are going to be very easy to take apart, which is kind of a neat thing as well. On the inside here, we're going to get a look at the suspension, but let's take a look at the interior piece. So here's your interior. So we do have some molded detail for the engine and some minimal molded detail up there in the front, which I don't mind it not being that detailed because you really can't see in there anyway. Here's the window piece. The only really important thing here is that it's clear, and this is pretty clear. Here's your body. You can see the wing is affixed with like melted plastic right there. You can kind of see the details. So the headlights here on the back, you know, it's just a plastic piece and it's kind of like melted into place is kind of how they do it. Same thing it looks like for the mirrors as well. If you look at the back side, it's just kind of melted in. So there's that, there's the body, and then here is the base. This is kind of where all the cool stuff happens. This is their suspension system. So it's almost like a paper clip that goes all the way around the outside. I mean, it's not made of the same material as a paper clip, but this is what gives you your suspension. So it goes these little hooks, and you got this little U shape that sits above the axle, and it's what holds the axle down. So if you want to take this apart, you can by just removing that. There's our little piece, and then here are our axles. Very cool. The other reason why I like when you can take a casting apart is if you get one with some slight issues, or if it doesn't roll well, or something weird's going on with it. Oftentimes, if you can take it apart easily, you can actually fix it. I'm going to see how easily now I'm able to get this wire back into place. That snapped right in. Let's try the other side. So you got to kind of snake it around there and then over that. And make sure it's good and it's in place. Is it rolling? It is rolling. Cool. Very, very cool. Let's go ahead and put this whole thing back together. A little bonus content for you, I guess. That just sits in there. It's not really clamped in there. It's held in by the body being in place. Very cool. And then we can go ahead and take the base. The nice thing is you can tilt the base right upside down. You're not afraid of the axles falling out because they're held in by that paper clip-ish kind of thing. And then we can just throw the screws back in. One in the front. Easy peasy. And then one in the back. Find the threads, screw it in. There you go. Model is done. And it rolls a little tiny bit better than it did before. That back wheel is very, very tight to the wheel well, which I prefer stance over rolling anyway. So it is nice when they have a good stance and they roll really well as well, but we'll take the compromise. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this stuff. I am a big fan so far. We'll see how it goes as time goes on, but right now, they got me sold. All right, so thank you guys very much for watching. This will be in my Majorette playlist. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, of course. Thank you very much, and have yourself a good day.